BTB listeners, thank you so much for checking out today's episode. Listen, if this episode inspires you, do me a favor, take 5 seconds to shoot me a like and subscribe to the podcast. There are several more exciting guests that are in the pipeline, and I just can't thank you enough for your continued support, and let's keep paying the mission forward. In today's episode, I interview Sam Sippel and Jett Middleton. They currently represent Boise State men's tennis as part of the top 6 players on the team. Jett Middleton is one of the highest recruited high school tennis players to ever come out of Colorado, who transferred from Arizona. Sam Sippel from Germany is the current number 1 singles player, and at the time of recording is top 40 in the nation as a transfer from Azusa Pacific. We discuss the mental and physical adjustments required to play tennis at high altitude, the goals for their season, including trying to achieve a top 40 ranking as an automatic bid for the NCAA tournament. Both Jett and Sam share their personal stories, overcoming adversity and injuries to pursue their passion for tennis. We highlight the importance of determination, resilience, and the support of family and coaches. We dive into their career ambitions beyond tennis and the significance of having a supportive team environment, no matter the circumstances. I conducted this interview live in Colorado when Boise State was in town to take on Denver University and LMU. Forewarning, I did have a little bit of audio issues as I recorded this episode, but as you turn up the volume and tune in, you'll enjoy what these 2 young men have to share, and it will inspire you as the listener.
Don't be afraid of the dark. Be careful with stars. Not every light is gonna guide you.
Welcome to the BTB Project, designed to empower listeners to identify their why and to live their best lives no matter the circumstances. My name is Kollman Gearhart. A former athlete and motivational coach, I've had the opportunity to inspire thousands through my story and help accomplish what they are built to be. You'll be encouraged by each and every episode, and let's get into it.
Yeah, when I blow up, I'ma soar high like Peter Pan. In real life, be living out my dreams. If I'm waking up, it's in a foreign land.
Well, the BTB Project has had an opportunity to showcase incredible student athletes all over the country. This is a full circle moment for me as I'm sitting in a house that I got to spend some time with one of our guests today, but also too one of his teammates that comes from Germany, which everyone says that Kollman Gearhart is quite the German name. And with that said, it brings me a tremendous honor to welcome 2 of the current active roster of the Boise State Broncos tennis team, Sam Sippel and Jett Middleton. Welcome to the BTB Project.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
No, absolutely. Well, here we are in my homeland of Colorado and being able to try to understand why sometimes they play the game of tennis at 5,000 feet or above. When it comes to altitude and collegiate tennis, is it an adjustment for you guys to come out here from an Idaho to a Colorado?
Yeah, for sure. It's always tough to find the right tension in your strings in the beginning when you come here. So usually I string a couple of pounds tighter and see how my first practice goes. I feel in altitude, it's all about ball control, how you can really still control the ball, even though the balls are flying everywhere.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, I'm used to it because I grew up, born and raised here.
Yep.
I probably prefer playing in the high altitude a little bit more, but it always takes a couple of days to get whether you're going up or down. But I'm thankful that we're in the middle in Boise, so it's not that big of an adjustment. But
Yeah.
it's still, there's that necessary adjustment you have to make.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, they had that Power Shares series where they had old school tennis players like John McEnroe and Andy Roddick pounding balls at the Pepsi Center. And I remember them playing, and I had a friend of mine who was a ball boy, and they were playing with green dot balls.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, green dots. So
I've never heard that.
it's fascinating because they don't have too many pro tournaments here, and they tried with the Colorado State Open and some others, but it's just a tough place to make the transition. But to hear, Sam, that you're able to adapt and adjust quick, and Jett being able to come back to your homeland, so that's awesome. So when it comes to this season, guys, obviously it's an exciting time for you. I think you guys have a very talented roster, and both you guys are above 10 wins already this early in the season. And I just would be curious, when it comes to your opponents that you have with DU and LMU, what is really the goal for you guys this season? What's the mission for Boise State?
Yeah, so the whole mission started a year ago with Luke Shields being the new head coach. So that's where we wanted to put the program back on the map. I think we did it last year already. We improved 27 spots. We were, I think, ranked 6th in the country in the end of the year. So this year, our goal is to be top 40, to have an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament.
Gotcha.
And as of right now, I feel like we're on track, but I feel after this weekend, we know more where our team is actually at. So it's 2 big games for us. And yeah, I'm really excited for that.
How about you, Jett?
Yeah, we've had a pretty good start to this season. Some ups and some downs already. But I think with DU and LMU, we're looking forward. Obviously, I need to win against my home team. That's the first priority. I grew up practicing against these guys, and now I get a chance to play here, which is really special. In LMU, we got to take care of business there too. That's a great roster, great team. But overall, Sam said it, we're trying to be top 40. I think we have the roster and the capability to be top 30 team. So have an automatic bid and go back to back for those conference titles and play together, be the most together team. There's simple things that we're trying to accomplish every week that isn't analytics based or statistics based. It's more just, a tangible goal.
Yeah, I find it fascinating because even though I'm several years removed from playing college tennis myself, I remember the glory days of battling against DU and Air Force and just the environment. I know that DU now has an indoor facility that you guys get to play at, and super exciting times for Colorado tennis. But when it comes to these early season matches, I actually talked to Coach Shields before we hopped on, and he said that these beginning of the spring matches are critical. I would just love to know, as far as a game plan for you guys, do you believe will allow you to be successful for this trip in Colorado?
Yeah, I think it's never easy to play on the road. You have to play really gritty and be mentally tough. I think that's really crucial in order to be successful on the road. As Luke Shields said, the first couple of games in the season are very important for the rankings, for the algorithm, basically. And yeah, if you have a couple of good wins in the beginning of the season, it can lead to very big things. And we really want to gain confidence here on the trip. And that's the main goal. It's not going to be easy. We have really 2 tough teams coming up on Friday and Saturday. Yeah, we really need to be together as a group, fight through the tough times on court, be mentally strong, and trust our teammates, trust our foundation we set in the fall and the summer, and then I think we can be successful. So.
Yeah, I think the beginning of the season was obviously critical. That win we had against Oregon was huge.
You closed that one out, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a crazy match, actually. But it was crazy, but nuts match. We came into that match, just that's all we wanted to do is beat Oregon. It's a huge rival of ours at Boise State, probably the biggest. And so we knew what we had to do, and we had to beat them, and we got it done. Even if it was by the skin of our teeth, we got it done. And then we got a really good opportunity against Ohio State to learn against the number 1 team in the country. So that was an amazing experience. Our travel schedule has been crazy this year, so being on the road, constantly missing so many days of school, not being at home, not being where you're comfortable is definitely tough. It's not easy to have wins like that against Oregon. It gives you that confidence that you can do it against anyone, anytime, anywhere. And that's the biggest thing we're trying to take away from this weekend, is because maybe not the odds aren't in our favor. Playing at high altitude, playing in Denver, this is a team that if we want to reach our goals, we got to pass them by. So that's the first thing this weekend that we're focused on.
Yeah, and it's fun for me from my perspective, guys, because I had General Patton on the podcast a few months back. I know the history of Boise State, a lot of Colorado ties to the program, but I remember him specifically talking about how proud he was to build the program, to get a Stanford to come to Boise, Idaho to play against you guys, and how he built it from the ground up. And then Luke, who played for Patton, being able to come back to his homeland and still, I believe, the winningest ever at Boise State. Maybe one of you guys one day will try to knock out his record. But nonetheless, I'm just really amazed by all the connections here. And both you guys were not on the Boise State roster a couple of years ago. We have a transfer from Azusa Pacific and a transfer from Arizona. So when it comes to trust and being able to go out with 6 guys and find 4 victories, what does it mean to you to have this transition be what it has been? And how quickly have you guys developed rapport amongst one another?
You mean basically how we build a trust amongst our teammates?
Absolutely.
I think it comes down to the practices we have, really about also what I recognize, the more tough talks we have with teammates, if you address things, some issues that sometimes come up and really care about your teammates, that really builds the trust. You know, the tough runs in the morning, the long practices, and also obviously the win against Oregon made us way closer. Like when you have such a good victory where Jett saved match points and we're just grinding there for 4.5, 5 hours. It brings you together so much. And yeah, that's why I think we have a good chance to have a great season. Because after this win, we already had a great win in the season, and that's crucial.
I appreciate that, Sam. And Jett, I know that win over Oregon's huge. I'm sure you've seen them in your past life too, in the Pac-12, but I just would love to hear how you've been able to coming back from a really tough foot injury to now having your moment to be back in this game. What is it like going out to battle with your boys?
It's honestly amazing coming from where I came from a year ago. I was in a boot. I was 20, 30 pounds heavier maybe, and I was not in tennis shape. I wasn't focused on playing tennis. I was trying to figure out if I was ever going to play tennis again. So looking back a year from now, it's crazy to see where I am now. But that Oregon match, obviously it was my first real test in a dual match, because in my last school, I only really played doubles in the big matches. So I had that nerve test, but it's different when it's for 45 minutes rather than when it's for 3-4 hours. So that was my first real experience, because we'd played Idaho State the weekend before, and it was just, we were a better team. So there was not as many nerves. And Oregon were very similar too, and I knew how bad everyone on the team wanted to beat them, including me, because I disliked that team so much. I know, just Boise State fans wanted to see us beat them. We had to. And for Coach Luke too, it was a big win. So I remember just being on the court, and I wasn't thinking about losing. Which is, for me, is a crazy thing to think about. All I was thinking about was, we always say play for the seniors, and all I could think about is Sam. I don't know if I should tell this story, but a few days before that, he was like, I will literally die. And I remember thinking about that down match points, and I was like, I'm not losing this.
Wow.
And got a little lucky that there was a line judge there for one of the match points, that he called the ball out, and it got overruled, thank God. But it was just this huge sigh of relief when I won, and I was just, thank God we got that over with, because now we get to look forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah.
That's what I was really excited about.
Yeah. With college tennis these days, guys, I've seen a lot of matches on TV. I haven't seen too many live. I look forward to seeing you guys here in a couple days. But how hard is it to win a tennis match in Division I college tennis these days?
It's pretty tough, because I feel there are a lot of teams that are on the same level. So it really comes down to like margins, like even the margins of error. Sometimes a step too late, you might not get there. You hit the ball a little bit too late on a deuce point. The whole match can shift. Momentum is huge. In Oregon, when we played against Oregon, we lost a doubles point super close. We were leading with a break in number 3 doubles. And then after that, the whole momentum was on Oregon's side. We lost almost every first set in singles, and then the momentum shifted completely, and that's how we were able to turn it around. Yeah, momentum is really huge, especially when you play on the road. Yeah, it comes really down to the margins if you win or lose often.
Yeah, and Jett, knowing that you primarily were doubles beforehand and now you're fully immersed in the lineup, how hard is it to be in the thick of it, man?
I wouldn't say it's hard. I would say it's more exciting, because in junior tennis, you go to a tournament, and if you're a good player, the first 2 rounds, you're playing someone that you don't really have to be there for. Yeah. To show up and get through it. And even
you're playing guys like me. I get it.
But even in college tournaments in the fall, first couple matches, maybe there's a couple matches per tournament where you're just like, I'm much better than this guy. But especially with the schedule that Coach Luke has set up for us, you're playing a guy that's the same level as you, if not better, every match. So you get a great challenge every match. I haven't played a single guy this year yet that's been lower than me on ETR. And I'm playing low in the lineup. So it's amazing what Luke's been able to do with our schedule and set us up for success. But also it's exciting for us, for me, really, because I'm 22 and it feels like I'm a freshman.
Crazy, man.
Experience every match, which is awesome. So that's really exciting for me.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's easy. Sam might think he gets through his matches pretty easily. I would say
Not always.
I would
Like
say
this season a little bit more. But
I would say Sam's mostly always the first one off. So Sam maybe has a little distorted view of it.
Yeah, I think to have the type of success you guys are having, it comes from not, let's face it, you guys have had to face some adversity, and you guys had to both face adversity long before Boise State. And Sam, I want to get a better understanding of your why and what makes you tick, because coming from Germany, last year of college tennis, transferring from a D2 school, how did this whole game come about for you, and why are you so passionate about it?
I feel like the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because I'm so grateful as he said, I still get new experiences almost every month. And in my life, I've experienced a lot of setbacks. I started playing tennis when I was 6 years old, got pretty successful early on. I think when I was like 8, I already won the biggest German tournament. And my dad is a tennis coach, so he guided me like through that way. And basically, and the first ranking then came out when I was like 9 years old. I was like ranked number 1 in Germany. And from that on, every ranking I was just number 1 in Germany. Number 1 ranking was number 2 till I was like 14. So the trajectory of my career was pretty linear up. Yeah. Always not really any big struggles till I was 14. Was able to be top 5 in Europe when I was 14. And worldwide, I would rank myself like top 20 at the age of 14. Yeah, when I was 14, I faced the first basically adversity in my life. I got like mono and got sick for the first time. I couldn't play tennis. And yeah, during that time, the first like couple of weeks off I enjoyed. I was like, okay, I'm not traveling, not practicing every day like crazy. But then after a couple of weeks, you like miss it because you're like, you don't get like to travel. You're not with your friends. You're like seeing more doctors than you're like enjoying life.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically when I was 14 to 19, I really had a lot of injuries, really like one thing after the other came up. So I had like mono, then would recover from that 2 weeks in practice. I would get a tear in my like ligaments. Into that, I would break my wrist and be like one thing after the other. Like I would just be out for 5 or 6 months not playing, and then just practicing for 2 weeks, and then again 5 or 6 months not playing. So that time really shaped my whole view on life, not only tennis. It had nothing to do with tennis anymore.
Yeah.
I'm actually very grateful for that opportunity because I feel like I know how the life is without tennis. And that makes me, I feel like, a stronger mentally on the court. And so basically when I was like 18, I graduated from high school and things got a little bit better health-wise, but I was not yet being recruited by universities. Like when I was 14, obviously there were already some universities reaching out, but I was 18, I had no ranking, didn't really play in a couple of years. And yeah, from that on, I was like, okay, I'm just going to start working. I didn't really want to study in Germany. So I worked a year and just 40 hours per week, 6 months in a home for like deprived children, and 2 months for a construction company, and 2 months for a company which is like the biggest automobile supplier.
Okay.
And during the time, actually, my health got like better. Like I picked up tennis again, even though it was very tough actually, because you work 40 hours, and when you work, for instance, construction, you're just there. I would go there at 6 a.m.
Different hour than behind a desk, right?
Yeah, I would literally go there at 6 a.m., then carry stuff for 9 hours, go home. My mom would make me something to eat, and I couldn't even talk with her because I was so exhausted. I would sleep for 2 hours, and then, I don't know, 7, 8 p.m. I would like practice for 1 or 2 hours and do that all over again.
Wow.
And yeah, actually in my second internship I had some aspirations of playing college tennis, but then in the construction internship, actually on my last working day, I almost lost my finger, my middle finger actually, my right one. You can still see the scar here.
Wow.
There was another setback, but I just laughed it off because I was like, it was the last day at work. Like my finger got stuck in a metal container.
Jeez.
The first thing the doctor says, "Oh yeah, good, you're not losing your finger." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, thank you." I do it.
Right. And
Yeah. So after I get this finger injury, I'm like, okay, I just college. I'm not gonna go studying somewhere. Like I'm just gonna study in Germany. We'll get like highest paid salary out of college. So I studied like industrial engineering, and I completely hated it.
Yeah.
Just like the engineering side wasn't my thing at all. And then basically after one semester, I decided, because like health-wise, I was feeling better, and I was also playing some tournaments, that I might want to go college,
wow.
come to the States. And
Right.
what would you say if I tell you that? There's no way you do that. Yes, my parents were like, yeah, we support you, which I'm like super happy about. They were never like, oh, we don't support you or don't do that. But they were, yeah, what do you mean? You're like,
Yeah.
you didn't play in like years, and you like every 2 or 3 months you get something, right? Even my best friend was like, what do you mean? Like, why do you even do the SAT test right now? There's no way you can stay injury free. And I'm somebody who would say always something back up, but I would be like sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I know why you guys like think like that, because I would have exactly the same opinion. But for me, I'm a pretty stubborn person, so I don't listen to the haters.
Wait, you're German and you're stubborn? Get
Yeah.
out of here, man.
The classic stereotype. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I can't study in Germany. It's not for me. It's
Wow.
like, it's not too I still think there's unfinished business. So I decided to go that route, organize all the recruiting process by myself without an agency, so that all the requirements of
Wow.
like classes and stuff.
So how old were
And
you at that point, Sam?
I think I was like 19, 20. So like I started studying in the States when I was 20.
So you're,
living in the freshman dorms at 20.
yeah, your SAT that you're taking in high school probably is no longer valid, right? Because it's only good
Yeah,
for
like
a year.
I didn't do the high school
Oh,
SAT.
you did
I
it,
just
okay.
did it when I was like 19 and a half or whatever.
So you-
Everything
wow.
was last minute, and I was like, okay, the rankings are gonna come out in March, and I wanna be studying in October, so I need some sort of German ranking in order to get a scholarship.
Yeah.
So I was able to play myself into the rankings within a couple of months and 160 in Germany.
Wow.
And it was actually a pretty good achievement. So I was able to, get a full ride at the Division II university. I had a friend who was studying there already. And yeah, from that point on, I had a very successful college career, which
Yeah.
I'm like, grateful for. But yeah, then I somehow ended up at Boise State after getting my undergrad at APU. And yeah, it's actually crazy to think about. And my whole journey, like when I think about when I was 19, I would never have imagined to play Division I tennis at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my life story.
No, first of all, I never want to hear about someone maybe losing a finger, right?
It's
But
not the end of the world. It's
then you got to
it's
still use it
worse.
these days, right? For other purposes besides tennis. But no, I think when you take the court, you mentioned earlier, Jett, that Sam said he would die to win a match against Oregon. And hearing what you've been through and knowing that you're taking that to the court each and every day, man, what you did in the construction, what you did in those long hours. I know that you might have not been hitting tennis balls, but your mental resiliency was off the charts. You were building, galvanizing yourself for whoever you're playing against. 9.5 times out of 10, you're probably playing against someone that has no clue what it's like to work hard. So I tip my hat to you for
Yeah, for sure, like
that,
that
man.
really shaped like my mental strength for sure. I'm personally not the loudest person on the court, but sometimes people say things come easy to you, but like really deep inside, I know like I wanna win more than like most of the people. I'm like willing to sacrifice more than most of the people, which is probably my biggest strength. And yeah, just because of the things I went through, like I'm almost like willing to sacrifice everything, like my free time, like just, a lot of fun things just in order to be successful. So.
Yeah, your teammate next to you has faced his level of adversity as well. And I think what's neat between the two of you is the connection of your fathers, your father being a tennis coach, your dad being a tremendous impact in your life, a mentor, someone that you lean on. So Jett, as Sam's walking through his story, man, are there some parts of his story that resonate with you that you guys lean on each other for to help each other?
Yeah, for me, it was, I never thought until last year when I got hurt and had that nerve damage issue in my foot, I never thought that I wouldn't play tennis. So it maybe that's a little bit different. I my parents gave me every possible opportunity in high school to become the player and person I wanted to be. So I was lucky enough to have my body taken care of. Like I had the things I need to stay healthy, and I maybe didn't eat the way I needed to then, but I knew how it was supposed to be. And so it helped me a lot in that sense. So maybe that's a little bit different than Sam on the health. But I think with what my dad has gone through and everything that has happened to my family with my mom and my sister and all of that in the house, whatever it is, it's made me stronger for sure.
Yeah.
And you always have that when you go through a lot of things, you always have that in your back of your mind. Like the worst scenario has already happened. So it's freeing in the sense of you've already been through so much. You've already been through so many things that suck. Yeah. It can't really get worse in a lot of scenarios. So it frees you up mentally, physically, and on the tennis court, it's hard to play free. But if you can ask any of the top pros, when you're playing free and you're flowing, that's when it's the best, and that's when you get the most out of each other. And to have a guy like Sam on my team, and we have guys with stories just like that.
Yep.
Maybe his is a little bit crazier, but they have crazy stories. And to have guys on this team where you hear their stories and you hear the depth and the detail and what they've been through, you realize that everyone has their own struggles and you have to play the cards you've been dealt. And so that's what I respect about Sam so much, is that he has played the cards he's been dealt and done such a good job. And now he's top 40 in the country, beating guys left and right that are considered better than him.
Yep.
Even though I see him every day in practice, I know they're not. I know he's going to go out there and win. I can say it about any time he plays a player. I know we're getting a point on one. And it's happened. There's only been one match that it hasn't happened. For me, it's amazing to have that confidence in your teammate and know the depth behind them and their story. So.
Right. Yeah, for both you guys, I'll start with you, Sam. I think, you look at your resume for tennis and it's very decorated, unbelievable career. But I want you to maybe highlight a moment where, I don't know if your parents have had a chance to get you to see you play much in the States, but let's just circle around your dad and maybe share a moment that you've been able to have on the court to where your dad was most proud of you.
Yeah, to be honest, I think my dad was just proud of me just going to the States, really pursuing my tennis career. And then I feel like he was the most proud of like how I evolved as a person, not just managing my life. And he was like, oh, you're playing pretty good tennis and you're getting good grades, good job. I think that's what he's most proud of. And yeah, he's for sure my biggest supporter. He's watching every live stream that's available. Yeah, it's amazing to have that support throughout your life. I know it was like not always easy for him, and he never really showed the weakness towards me. He never made me feel guilty for the time he sacrificed or the money he spent on me. That was like, just very good to have. Yeah, he obviously liked that I won conference titles and stuff, but like he's from Germany, so he probably doesn't understand that whole idea.
Right.
It, so,
yeah.
I think recently I probably just surprised him when I like beat the number one from Oregon and stuff. He's, oh yeah, you're doing a good job now. There's still some things that you need to do better here and there, but good job. But I know what potential you have, what level you can play. And he just said I need more matches on that level, which I'm gladly getting for our schedule, and then I can get to the next step. And for me it's just like always a relief to talk with him about tennis because he understands a lot of things about it.
Yeah, being a coach for sure. Yeah. Awesome. Jett, you made a strategic decision to come to Boise to be closer to your family so that they can watch you play tennis. What does it mean for you to be back in Colorado? You're not playing a fall tournament. You're part of a team. You're in the spring, and you're going to have some family there watching you. What does that mean to you?
Well, it means everything. My dad's at every match in Boise anyway.
Yeah.
He was there last weekend against Cal Poly, and quick turnaround. Now he sees me in our home with a bunch of my hooligans. What's going on? To play in front of my dad is really special. I remember when I was picking to transfer and my dad was given 3 to 6 months. I just wanted to go somewhere I could play and I could play in front of him. So whatever was easiest to get to him, for him to get to, and where I could see myself high in the lineup. And then it was an easy decision. Like I knew I was coming to Boise State after I went through the whole portal process, took my visits. I knew I was going there. Even with the hometown team recruiting me in Denver, I knew I was going to Boise State just because of Luke and the experience I had with Clancy was so good. I wanted something similar, and I knew the brother could definitely give it to me, and I've known them since I was 6 years old. So I wanted some familiar family experience to go along with the school I picked, and having friends that go to Boulder that are coming down to watch me tomorrow, and having trainers and coaches and family friends that I've seen and worked with. It's going to, hopefully it feels like a home match tomorrow.
Right.
For us. And maybe it only feels like a home match for me, but I'm selfish. I'll take it. But they're going to be rooting for the boys too. So I'm extremely excited for that. Yeah. And it also feels unbelievable just to be in my own home and not be in a hotel and just see my parents and my sister and saw my nephew.
Uncle Jett, man.
It's just the best.
Yeah, as I'm hearing your guys' stories, I was able to play a match at the Creighton Blue Jay Invitational. I don't know if you guys butt heads with Creighton every now and then or Drake, but played a tournament out there, and it was 2 months after my mom had passed away. My mom died when I was 20. Tried taking her to rehab 4 times. She was an alcoholic and just couldn't kick it. And unfortunately, I lost her too soon, but decided to go out and play. Like, the tennis court was a place that was an outlet for me, an escape to some of the things that I was going through, and go out and played a tournament that I had no purpose going deep or let alone winning. And my dad and my brother were there. And I just remember that last match, I won every match in a tie break to win the tournament. And just to think of when we're talking about adversity, talking about the other end of like proud moments or accomplishments, when this is all said and done, guys, and Sam, you answered this for me, but like, we've been student athletes. I was a student athlete. We're all student athletes, but eventually your tennis career ends and you got to go get a 9 to 5 or go work, whatever it is. And you've done it backwards, man, because you've been immersed with that. Right. And then you come and fulfill this dream. I would love to know from both of you, because we have a lot of listeners that are trying to make that transition from being a college athlete to the work world. And based off of everything you've experienced with forehands and backhands, Sam, what does it mean to you to know that this is going to end eventually? And are you excited for that next chapter?
Yeah, all I know is I'm going to miss college tennis so much. But yeah, as you said, I think it's one of the toughest struggles as an athlete to transition from your sport, college career to a normal career. Because I feel like a lot of people have that feeling of losing their purpose, their identity. And what really helped me is really think about your identity. What do you stand for? And not try to keep that identity alive, even though I might work something in a field that's not related to tennis. I still feel like I should be keeping basically involved with tennis because I don't want to lose my identity. I think that's super important. But it's really tough to the transition. I'm not really too excited for it, but life has to, eligibility ends at some point.
Right. Yeah.
But,
you can't be 37 hitting balls, but maybe you can actually if you still could bring it.
Right now, we're trying to get Sam to come on as a third coach for next year. So
hey,
maybe we'll keep him around.
I try to do everything with the NCAA. Somehow, I don't know. College so much. It gives me so much joy, so much purpose in my life. Yeah.
For sure. Jett, I know you're a few years away from what Sam is going to be experiencing here soon, but what does it mean to you to know that you're exactly where you want to be right now? You've worked really hard to get it, and know that a few years from now, you're going to have to walk into the real world, man. How's that feel?
Well, right now I'm just trying to be as thankful for the fact that I got to play tennis again. Even this last 2 years of this year and next year that I get, hopefully stay healthy, and that's a goal. But just getting the opportunity to compete and play for Boise was something that I didn't really internally. No one really knew. My coaches didn't know that I was struggling with that. My friends didn't know. It was basically only my family. And so our internal discussions were like, what happens? What are you going to do? And what are you going to do if you're never able to play tennis again? What are you going to do?
Right.
At that time, I had no clue. I had no idea. I was so desperate to get on the court So all I wanted to do was get on the court again, so I didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
working.
Yeah, you had a little taste of it with your dad's business when he
Yeah.
got sick, man, trying to tap into that.
Yeah, trying to learn about that. And I was just like, dude, I
Yep.
can't do this right now. There's no way. I'm not ready for this. This is too much. I'm not mature enough.
Right.
And that whole process actually matured me. And now that I have this opportunity again, is why I was able to get that back, I feel like, is because I let go of that. At some point, I was like, it's all going to be okay. Even if I never play tennis again and I never reach the potential that I thought I had, it's all going to be okay because my parents are there for me. My family is there for me. My dad is getting better. My friends are there for me. My coaches are there for me. They understand. Even though I might not be able to compete for them, they understand.
Yeah.
And once I stopped trying to control my destiny and my ability to get back on the court, it all came together. I started to get healthy. I found a coach that helped me a lot with my mobility and was able to get me back on court. And Jordan Collins in Florida, he helped me so much. Just to be able to find that was a huge experience for me, and it matured me so much. And I still obviously have a lot of maturity and to go. And humility is always a huge part. When matches, when we're doing well, humility is the most important thing. And our coach stresses that a lot to us. Sam is one of those humble guys I know. He's 40 in the country and he's not going around skipping reps in the weight room. He's not he's still doing the things that got him there. And that's what's so respectable about him, because I've seen guys that have a little bit of a taste in success. And they stop. And for me, my weekly process and the details I go through just to stay healthy and do the things that I can and I want to do is more of a mental health thing.
Yes.
It's not really, I don't meditate to be a better tennis player. At first I did. I don't eat good to be a better tennis player. At first I did all of these things that I'm doing, ice bathing in the morning, sauna, like all of these things that I'm doing in the morning isn't to be a better tennis player anymore. It's to be just a healthier person and I feel so much better than I've ever felt. I think Sam can attest to that, because I've seen Sam change his diet. I've seen Sam do things that have helped him, and he does a lot of research on them. And it's not just for his tennis. It's so he feels good. He sleeps well. He studies well. Like, these are the things that are important. And once you realize that as a tennis player, it's a huge thing. So
for sure,
that'll help us after school.
Yeah, man.
Having those things embedded in you.
Yeah, I call it alignment. If we don't have alignment in our lives, how the heck can we beat somebody on the other side of the net, right? And I love it. I got one last question for you guys, and I'll start with you, Sam. Man, what a journey you've been on. Thank you so much for sharing the hardships, the pinnacles that you've had, but you've learned a lot in your 25 years of life. And I would love to know if you had a chance to go back to that 13, 14-year-old Sam, knowing what you know now, and sit down with that young man and give him some advice based off of what you've learned, what would you tell him?
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot. I feel every person you meet in your life, every decision you make is going to lead to some sort of result, right? And obviously there's some things that I wish I would have known back then, wish I could have done differently. But yeah, if I would give one advice to my younger self, I would say stick more to the things that work. Stay more with your team. I feel like when I was 14, I was already good. I tried to make the next step too quickly, tried to improve too quickly. It's sometimes you do 2 steps back and maybe only 1 forward, but it's part of the process. So yeah, if I could give one advice to, tennis families or tennis players, really keep a close team, set short-term and long-term goals, and put away all the other distractions, all the BS, and then good things will come. And I think that's not easy to do in the tennis world. There's so many distractions, so many people that think that's good for you. But they don't really have the right intentions for you. And I think a very good anchor, or always a good resource, is really close friends that are not related to tennis.
Yes.
And your parents, because they always want the best for you. I've been through that with people who think they really care about you, but they only care about you because they think they can make money off of you or sign you. I remember when I was 12, I won the Nike International Masters.
Wow.
And I remember all I thought back then was like, oh, how cool would it be to have a Nike contract? So I love this brand so much, like amazing brand, shout out.
Yeah, there you go.
So basically I win this like national masters. I got invited to the international one.
Yeah.
And then after that, like a Nike person comes to my home in Germany, and yeah, he offers me like a contract over 3 years, like obviously not paid, but like basically all clothing you want, all shoes, whatever, right?
Wow.
And I'm just like so excited. I remember having coffee outside, and I go back with my dad, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, so hyped, right? But all of that stuff doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't. And because when I was injured or being in a hospital somewhere, those people are not there for you because they're obviously just doing their job. But it's tough to see when you're like a young person. Yeah. So that's the advice I have.
Nah, it's good. And then Jett, I know that when we did our episode previously, you gave some good advice to your younger self, but let's flip the script a little bit, man. You're bleeding blue. Boise State means a lot to you. You were that kid sitting watching Luke and Clancy pound balls back in the day. I know the Mountain West Conference means a lot to you guys to get those championships, but what is the ride off into the sunset for you? What is going to be in the Boise State Hall of Fame when Jett Middleton is done with his career?
To be honest with you, I hope I can get 4 more rings on my finger. I have one from Arizona, one from last year. Last year I was hurt, so I wasn't really part of the team, so I don't really count that. But I count the one for sure that I got at Arizona to end my career with six rings would be pretty sweet. But that's not really what I'm worried about. I'm worried about trying to set this program up for success in the future, trying to get as many donations as possible to improve things, because I do truly believe that Luke has the vision and has the ability to win a national championship. And he says that over and over again in every interview he does. I think we can win a national championship. Yeah. But at first, when you come here, you're like, nah. And then you hear him start to say it, and you see our practices, and you see our workouts, and you see us getting up at 6 a.m.
And you see all the people basically coming together.
Yeah, and you see the 6 a.m. runs that we do, holding planks above our head that say our core value.
I love it.
Just to breed it into us. You start taking a little bit of the seed, and then you're fully engulfed. You believe it. Every guy on our team believes it. And you can ask them. They're like, it might not be this year, it might not be next year while I'm there, but if in 10 years or 15 years, coach is able to do it, we're still a part of this. And that's what's so amazing, is because we were the first steps that, like, for me, I was Coach Luke's first recruit. So that was a big thing for me. Obviously, I didn't get to play last year, so that conference title was without me. But this year, I want to win the regular season, and I want to win the postseason. I don't want to have to be a 4 seed in NCAA. We want to be a 3 or a 2 seed. So we have a chance to have a winnable match before we play a top 16 team. So we can actually get our feet in the ground in the NCAA tournament, not just show up knowing we're going to lose. Because last year I wasn't there, but like it felt a little bit like that.
Right.
And this year it's different. Right? It's different. Even against Ohio State, people are going to laugh at me for saying this, but there was a path. There was a path to win that match. I would have taken miraculous things.
Right.
But there was a path. And so for us, that's what gives us a hope. And even against Michigan State, which they're a top 15 team, we're a few points away from them from taking the doubles point. And we are very close to winning that match. There was definite path. And we would have been a top 20 team if we win that match. So there's steps that were taken by Coach Luke and by this team that have put us in such a good position. And now I think we're just trying to focus on one match at a time this year. But you see the bigger picture. You see it start to come together when you go to these, donor meetings and these alum meetings, and you meet with these people. Coach always says that it takes 100 people to win a national championship. Virginia has 100 people on their team basically, and they only have 9 guys. So we're building that, and we're building it brick by brick, and that's all that really matters. And it's more than like just a team. Like when you come to Boise State, it's not just about the team then or having a good year. It's about building something really special. And it's hard to buy in it day to day, but I think we as a team have done a very good job this season so far of buying in for the most part. We've had blunders for sure, but
Right.
that's going to be the tell for the rest of the season is if we can buy in day to day. I don't think me and Sam would sit here after the season and say we would be happy if we ended 60 in the country, but we won the conference. So I think that top 40 and the conference title, if we can get both of those, then that would make me happy to send our seniors off like that, because I think they would have no regrets. But if we end 60 in the country, we win the conference, or we end 40 and we don't win the conference, I think there's still going to be a bad taste in these guys' mouth, and that's the last thing you want for your seniors to have.
Right.
You want them to be fulfilled and ready to go.
Right. Yeah. And listen, Boise State men's tennis is like bleeding blue, brick by brick. Luke Shields. Yeah. Blue collar, Colorado tennis icon. You guys are in good hands.
I think for me, it was very tough to see like the division for Boise State before I came to the university, actually. When I came to Boise, I actually understood more about the history of the program, which has a very rich history. And right now, I feel like there's a lot of the right people in the right positions. So
Right.
we have an amazing athletic director, amazing head coach, very good, like also amazing assistant coach.
Shout out Tyler
And-
too.
Yeah, best strength coach as well. And obviously the ultimate goal in college tennis is to win a national championship. And I know that's possible in the long term. I really can see it happening within the next 10 to 15 years. And just because I see the vision of the whole athletic department of our tennis program as well. And that's just so amazing to be part of. I feel like it's just a very thriving city around that university. So it's just amazing to live that.
I was lucky enough to be on a Sweet 16 team my freshman year.
Yeah, that's
top 10
crazy.
team my sophomore year that won the Pac-12. I experienced what those practices were like. I experienced the intensity. I experienced each individual. And I don't think we're very far off from that, to be honest with you. It may seem like it, but we're not.
Nope.
I would prefer to go this way than just start at the top. A lot of these teams do. When you come in, what Luke is going to do here, like, it's going to blow people's mind. And I don't think people know that.
Right.
So if you're a Colorado tennis fan and you're not following Boise State tennis, you probably should, because right now we're good, and 10 years, watch out.
Yep. Well said, gentlemen. Sam Sippel, Jett Middleton, go do some damage this next couple of days in Colorado, and thank you for spending some time with me on the BTB project.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having me.
much.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. What a tremendous opportunity to sit down with Sam Sippel and Jett Middleton of the Boise State men's tennis team. Their respective stories of resiliency and how they've come together to continue on a legacy of a tennis program that has so much rich history. And I was really taken back by Sam's journey going from an elite tennis player in Germany to suffering injuries to having to go to work full time, thinking that he wasn't ever going to play collegiate tennis, to then coming back, acquiring a ranking after working full time, and essentially getting a college scholarship to Azusa Pacific University at 19 years old. It's an unbelievable testament to the perseverance and grit that's necessary to play college tennis. And Jett's story is no different. Coming back from a severe foot injury that caused nerve issues, his dad surviving stage 4 brain cancer. These types of moments that they experience in their life is not only a true testament to who they are as people, but to come together to be a part of a team that's on mission is truly extraordinary. The opportunity to sit down with collegiate tennis players has always been a true joy of mine. Although it's been several years since I've played myself, I have a deep amount of respect for the guys that are going out there every day, putting in the work, being part of the grind, and still finding success no matter the circumstances. Listen, if this BTB episode with Sam and Jett impacted you, Do me a favor, like and subscribe to the BTB Project. Better yet, share this message with a family member, friend, or colleague, and tell them why it was important to you. It's these types of stories that have put the BTB Project on mission to show each and every one of you as listeners that truly impossible is nothing. I wish Jett and Sam continued success throughout their college tennis journey, and I wish you success on your own personal built-to-be journey. As always, impossible is nothing, and until next time, take care.
Your